Hello, everybody. Thanks for checking out today's broadcast. My name is Jonathan. Today is day 165, I believe, is what it ends up being here of my 3-year challenge. So 165 days means 5.5 months. It is weigh-in Wednesday, so I will get weighed in here in a second. But if this is your first time checking out my broadcast, my name's Jonathan. Back in October of 2020, I decided it was time to get my get a haircut, weight and everything under control. And so I started this whole challenge. I found that when I try to lose weight, I'm very good at sticking to a regimen and doing what I need to do to lose weight, but I never sustain it, and it never lasts for for more than the time that I need to lose the weight. And then after I lose the weight, I'm lost. And so this time I committed to doing something for 3 years. That way it would become habit. It would become part of my life. It wouldn't just be something I was doing just to lose the weight. And so November 1st, I started, and I decided to do an extended water fast. I had done some in the past, and I did a very long extended fast for 42 days. It ended up being 1,000 hours, and I lost 90 pounds in the first 42 days during that water fast. After that, we switched over to a whole food plant-based diet with no added salt, oil, or sugar. So that just means we don't add it. If it's in the foods naturally, we eat it from them. But we are going to go ahead and get weighed in. I kind of sneak peeked this, so I'm not super happy to get on the scale here. But we'll see what it is. That was 351.6 before. 53.2. 53.2. You can't really see that very well there. But yeah, I knew I was going to be up. So I'm up 1.6 on the week from the weigh-in from last week. I do believe that the weigh-in last week, I lost a few pounds for like 2 weeks in a row there. I know I had decent losses. This might be... I know this is definitely the biggest gain that I've had since starting this in the 5.5 months. I had a small gain the week or so after the second extended fast, and then this now, let's see, 1.6 gain this week. It does suck, but there's a lot of things that factor into losing weight, and if anything, I feel better about my body this week as far as just like feeling my ribs and my bones and my hips, and the skin and everything on my body feels so much looser today or this week than it has been. So even though the scale isn't showing what I want the scale to show here, I definitely feel like I am still feeling better overall. It was 0.2. And so it, Carrie says, gain a little here and it'll come off soon. Yeah, I don't imagine that it'll stay on for very long. I've probably been a little bit backed up, I guess. I've had kind of my diet. I've had a lot of the Ezekiel bread and the peanut butter really since Saturday. I think just about every day it's been at least one of the meals I've had. That could be what's kind of might have me backed up a little bit. I also was dealing with my ankle issues for the week, and so I wasn't very mobile at all for the last week as well. So those are a couple things to factor in to it. It is, again, it is disappointing to gain a little bit of weight, but overall it's it's a net loss in the if I look at the last 5.5 months, I'm still down 166.6 pounds, 166.6. Uh so uh and yeah, and it's just going to be something where I do have to pay attention to what I'm eating. Like I said, with the Ezekiel bread, we also had that dehydrated mango that I probably indulged or overindulged in that as well. That could be, a lot of things can contribute to it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's nothing I feel like I need to change, or am not changing anything. It's not something where I'm even worried about 1 week where I lost. I mean, because the last 2 weeks were such big losses. I mean, I think both weeks was over 2 pounds. One of them might have been as much as 3 pounds, and so um, it's not a big deal, or it's not anything that bugs me too much. Carrie's saying that she didn't get a chance to weigh today, but she did get out and go out and walk. And if anybody has any non-scale victories, I'd love to hear those as well. Yeah, I mean, and as much as and this is part of the reason why I did decide to just do the weigh-ins on Wednesday and not do it every day, because things like this gain here, well, it sucks. It's only, I don't have to deal with it today, and then next week I'll come back and I'll be in a better position than I was today. But I'm not going to be freaking out about the scale every single day and whether or not I'm seeing losses every single day, because it's just not the way our bodies are designed. We're going to retain things based off of our overall diet some days, and we're going to eliminate things faster or slower. So, and it is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's something where it's like, today's day 165 of a total of 1095 days. So it's not even I'm not even that far into this whole thing, so it's something where I can just recognize it. It sucks. Lots of factored into it, and I'm going to move on and go from there, and just keep plugging away. The for other stuff for me, like I said, the non-scale victory for me would be how I'm feeling in my body. I feel like the skin is starting to feel looser, and like my ribs, I feel like I can feel them a lot more than I have been able to feel them. And then my flexibility too. I hadn't done it for a while, but today I just did some silly, just bent over stretches, just touching my toes. And I don't do it much, but whenever I do, it definitely feels great to just do that extra stretching. And my flexibility is still just so much better than it used to be. Getting around is so much easier than it used to be. And just getting stuff done. Like yesterday, just getting stuff done around in the yard, just cutting branches and vines, and not being tired or wiped out. Or with where I live in particular, for me to work on my yard, there's a hill. I live on a hill, so it's either I have to go uphill to work on something or downhill. There's really the only flat spot is where my house is actually at. So being able to go out and do those things without being wiped out or out of breath in the first 10 minutes, those are all big victories for me. So yeah. As far as I've been listening to the Gregor book a little bit more. It's still one of the things. I mean, the Carrie was talking about she bought the paper copy of How Not to Die so she could give it to people. And I was thinking about it that there needs to be like uh, a reading list for, and I'm sure that somebody has one or somebody's made one. But like, if I were to make a reading list of books that I would recommend, this How Not to Die would definitely be on it. The Dr. Furman's book, Eat to Live, would be on it, and then the Pleasure Trap book by uh, Goldhammer and Dr. Lyle. Those would all be books that I would, you know, I wish I could just hand them to people and just be like, here, you know, digest this information, uh, and it'll make a difference in your life. And that's the uh, just the stuff that Dr. Greger's book, I think, is, uh, you know, I've said it many times. It's just very well written. It's just a good book overall, and I'm looking forward to continuing to listen to it. It is heavy on some technical stuff, and we're just gonna uh, Carrie saying that she just sent her mom a screenshot of somebody that went from stage 3 to stage 2 kidney disease in just 4 months by eating a whole food plant based diet. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the. It's so crazy how many people are have how many stories there are like this out there of the benefits people are getting from the whole food plant based diet, but yet it's still not mainstream uh, knowledge, or it's not talked about mainstream. And I mean, people are laughed at when they bring it up or they try to push it. And in fact, our senator in our state is they're trying to they were one of the senators that introduced legislation that, like, they're trying to ban putting a ban on meat. And so essentially what they're trying to do is make it law that you can't have a meatless Monday. Like, if the government decided, hey, we're gonna at whatever we're gonna do meatless Mondays, we're not gonna provide any, you know, animal protein. Uh, and they introduced legislation to ban even the idea of doing that, which is just crazy. Like, uh, and what if something came out that, you know, whatever? It's just silly that they would even have to legislate that, or we'd even think to legislate that. As Carrie says, it's so funny. You never really considered how what I eat affected your body and health in any other terms but your weight. Yeah, it is. You think of the calorie in, calorie out, but you don't think about the, uh, yeah, like, I mean, well, and you don't think about it until you have it happen, until you have the stroke, until you have the heart attack, till you have the diabetes. You don't think about the effect that the food is having, or you assume that food is like net good, like in general, like it's just the act of eating is good for you. And so it doesn't, you know, you don't necessarily think about what you're eating. You know, if you just need to eat, you just know you need to eat and it's good to eat, or it's you're supposed to eat. But then uh you know, and the things that they talk about, and how the you know, just as much as something can benefit you for the long run. He mentions early on in the book, he talks about Brazil nuts and how they found that eating a few Brazil nuts has an effect for a month. Whatever positive effect that it has, that it continues to have that positive effect for a month. And uh, the same thing happens in reverse, is that when you take in a toxin, or when you take in a bad food, that it can affect you chemically, or it can affect your system for weeks or a month after you don't take it anymore. And so it never, you don't really think about it being more than just, oh, it's just today. I just had 4,000 calories today. It was just today. Tomorrow will be better. But uh those 4,000 calories that you had today, depending on what they're made up of or how you ate them or what combination of foods you ate, it can affect your ability to lose weight or to you know you know cause you headaches or diarrhea or anything for a long time after you even ate it. And so the quality of the food is becoming even more important to me, and it's tough too because our diet is just so restrictive. Like I try to watch other people and see what they're doing and learn from what they do, and there's so many ways that you just have to concede. Like you can't do it unless you allow a little bit of sodium, or the salt's probably the toughest to eliminate because it's not as popular. Eliminating sugar is very popular. Eliminating oil has become much more popular in the last few years. Eliminating the salt is just something that not really a common thing for people to do. So, all right. But yeah, so just outside of the weight, the scale, outside of the not losing weight and gaining a little bit of weight, it I feel great, and I'm not even gonna really let that even bug me. So it's just gonna be something where I have to move on, and I mean, it does motivate me a little bit to try to get out and do those walks again. I still haven't done them. I just don't want to screw up my ankle again. It was something where doing the walks, there was a little bit of pain, and then all of a sudden, just couldn't walk. And then so I don't know if that was the catalyst to it, or if something happened where I hit it on something and I don't realize it, or I twisted it, didn't think about it. But um but yeah, I need to get out and walk again, get back up to over 10,000 steps. I think that's just good for me overall, and just good to be a little bit more active. Like I said, I was outside in the yard doing work yesterday, and that's really where I'm going to try to get my activity is doing more around the house, or do more yard work, or being more on top of that stuff versus taking time to go to a gym or to do a run or something like along those lines. Uh, but so yeah, kind of a downer for me for weigh-in Wednesday, but I'm sure that it'll rebound. So I'm not gonna fret over it too much. But I am gonna get out of here today. I will get back on tomorrow. It will be day 166. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications. I do have a Discord as well, which is at Fasting. That's FAHSTING. And then the Discord link is in the description. That will last for 1 week. You can join up the Discord, introduce yourself, let us know how you're doing, what you're looking to do, what your goals are. And if you're having any issues, maybe we can help you out. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks, guys, for checking out the broadcast, and we'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m.